everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how to make this little cardinal bird. And special thanks to Corinne Hawkins for suggesting this. So I think this design turned out really cute, and it's not that hard if you're not a beginner at least. So yeah, I'm going to show you how to make it, and let's get started on what we will need. For the beads, we will need 117 red beads, unless you want to make a different color of cardinal. You will need 14 brown beads, and then 4 black beads and 3 orange beads. And you also need wire, so you will need, for the longer piece of wire for the main body, because we'll be making the wings separately, we are going to need 29 inches or 74 centimeters, and I use 28 gauge black copper wire. This is the stuff I'm using. I get it on firemountaingems.com. And you also need 2 10-inch or 26 centimeter pieces of wire, and these will be for the wings. You will also need scissors to cut your wire, a ruler to measure your wire, and something to hold your beads in. I'm just using these triangle bead container things. And yeah, so let's get started. We're going to start by making the wings. So take your 10-inch piece of wire and meet the ends together, and then strip it back to fold it in half. And they're relatively small wings, so they shouldn't take us too long. We're going to take one bead and put it on our wire and just bring it down, have it rest there. And then kind of hold it in place with our fingers, and then take one side of our wire and loop it around and through that bead, and just hold it in place. And before you tighten it all the way, we're going to strip our wires back and make sure they're even, and I think mine are even enough, so I can go ahead and pull tight. I'm going to straighten my wires and add 2 beads to one side of the wire. Bring it down, and now whatever side of your wire does not have beads on it, we're going to loop around and through the 2 beads on your other wire, the other side of the wire, and it should look like that, and you could just pull tight. Now we're going to do that same process, except we're going to put 3 beads on our wire. 1, 2, and 3. Bring it down and do the same process and pull tight. Now we're going to do a row of 4. So 4 beads on your wire. And yeah, I'm using all red, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bring it down and do the same process. Pull tight. Now we're going to repeat those same steps. So 4 beads on our wire. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bring those down, do the same process. Pull tight. And now we're going to do a final row on our wing, which is going to be a row of 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Bring those down and pull tight. String your wire through, pull tight. And you want the beads kind of to be flat, kind of on one side. I don't think it really matters, but it just makes it look a little bit nicer. And we are going to actually leave our wing like this because we are going to tie it into the body and then tie it off, but it won't come undone or anything, so you can just set it to the side. And then I'm going to make a identical wing just like this, but I'm going to do it off camera. So if you want to go back and watch the process again, then just go back in the video. So yeah. All right, here we go. I have the second wing. So now we'll get started on the body of our cardinal. So first we're going to take our 29-inch or 74-centimeter piece of wire, and we're going to meet the ends and fold it in half. And we're going to start by taking one orange bead. So put one orange bead on our wire, bring it down, and then do the same process where you loop one of the wires around and through the bead. And before you pull all the way tight, we're just going to straighten our wires back to make sure they're even. I think this is even enough. If you just pull on the one that's a little bit shorter, then it should even out okay. I think that's just fine because I think we'll probably have a little excess. And pull tight all the way. We're going to straighten our wires. Now we're going to add our final 2 orange beads because we only need 3 of them. So 2 orange beads on our wire. Bring those down. And then do the same process where we take our empty wire and loop it through the beads on the other wire. And pull tight. And now we can straighten our wires yet again. And now we're done with orange. And now we are going to do a row of 3, and this time it is going to be, we're going to alternate our brown and black. So take one brown bead, and this is going to be the eye. One brown bead, one black bead, and another brown bead. And then do the same process. Pull tight. And now we're going to do another row of 3. And this time it's going to be all of our red beads. There's one over there. All right, so row of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Bring those down. Do the same process. It's on the other side now for me, but that's all right. And pull tight, just like that. And now we're going to do, and this time we're forming this little like feather thing on its head, and we're going to do a row of 2. One, 2. Do the same process. Like that. Now we're going to do a row of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Just like that. And now we have formed this little feather thing on the top of their head. And now we have to get back down to this row of 3 right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to just loop our wires through, or one of our wires through this previous row. And then do the opposite with this other side of the wire. Pull tight. Pull tight on both sides. And then we're going to do that again. I'm sorry, it was a tiny bit blurry there. So pull tight and then Do the same thing with the other side. And pull tight. There you go. And now we are going to continue on with the body. So we're going to do a row of 4 now. So we're just going to kind of build off from these 3 with here, just build off the body, if that makes sense. So you'll see what I mean. 4 beads. Oops, I dropped one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're gonna do the same process. I'm gonna pull tight, just like that. And this will be the back of the neck, if you can kind of see that. And this little feather thing is just gonna be sticking up. And this is where we're gonna start adding like the little black accent on the neck area. So we're going to do 1 red bead, 1 black bead, and then another red bead. So 3 beads on your wire though. So 1 black, or sorry, 1 red, 1 black, and another red. And bring those down. Oops. And then do the same process. Pull tight. It's a little weird, but it's okay. Oh, my wire's a little bit tangled. All right, but then pull tight, just like that. And we're doing this thing where we, if you can see, I don't know, we are starting to zigzag kind of. So if you see here, we just did this row right above my fingernail right there. So we did that row, then we did that row, and now we're going to do this row. And as you can see, we're doing a little zigzag to make the bird look more 3D. Now we're going to do a row of 5, and this is just 5 reds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring them down. I'm going to do the same process. And pull tight. And now we're going to do a row of 4, and this time we're going to add the last little bit of black by the neck. So we're going to do 4 beads, but we're going to do 1 red one first. I'm going to do 2 black ones and 1 last red one. Bring it down and do the same process. And pull tight. And now we can really start to see the little neck and head of our bird take shape. Now we're going to do a row of 6, and this time I think the rest of our bird, besides the legs, is just going to be red. So we're going to do a row of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oops. Let them fall all the way down. And now we're just going to take our wire and put it through half of the beads. This is a technique I've used a lot in my past videos. So just put them through half. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our wire that's only halfway strung through, and we're going to loop it through that previous row that we did. So it kind of just hooks onto it. It's not focusing. There we go. Just nestle that in between the beads, and this will make it so it's not very loose. And now we're going to continue stringing our wire through that same row of beads and pull tight. Pull on both wires, just like that. And there's your little row. Okay, now we're going to do a row of 4. And so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bring those down. And do the same thing where you only put your wire through half of the beads. I'm going to pull tight. And then do the same thing. So we're going to take this same wire where we're looping through this row of beads. Sorry, it's not focusing, is it? Okay. And then we're going to loop it through this previous row that we did and have it nestle in between those 2 black beads. Just like that. And then continue looping it through. And pull tight on both sides of the wire. And there we go. All right, now we're going to do a row of 8 for the back. So we're going to put 8 red beads on our wire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to bring those down. Do the same process where we loop our wire through half of the beads. Pull tight. And loop the wire through, string the wire through, I guess, that previous row. And pull tight. And string it through the rest. Pull tight. And pull tight on both ends. There we go. Now we're going to do a row of 6. One, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Bring them down. Loop your wire through half of them. Pull tight. Do the same process. Oops, I put it through the entire bird, not just that one row. Pull tight. Just like that. And then string your wire through the rest. And pull tight on both wires. Just, there we go. And now we're going to do a row of 9. One, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Bring them down. Do the same process where you loop your wire through around half of them. Pull tight. And then go through the last one, or the previous row that we did, pull tight, and then loop your wire through the remaining beads in that row. And pull tight. And then this is what your bird should look like now. It's getting pretty big, which is good. Now we're going to do a row of 4, and we're not going to loop our wire back around this time, or like loop our wire through, string our wire through half the beads and go to the previous row. So we're just going to do a normal row this time. So that bead's really small. I'm gonna use a different one. Okay. So 4 beads on our wire, and loop your wire through all of them and pull tight, just like that. It's kind of rounding off the body of our bird. And now we're going to do a row of 7, and we are going to loop this one back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Bring them down. String your wire through half of them. Pull tight. Do the same process. Continue looping, or stringing, I guess. It's not looping. So yeah, string your wire through the rest and pull both ends. And now we are going to do the legs. So we're just going to work on one of our wires right now, and we're going to add 6 of our brown beads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Bring those down, and we're going to separate them in the middle, or separate them. So there's 2 groups of 3. Loop our wire around, skip these first 3, and then string your wire through these next 3. And if you've ever done a little leg before, like on a beaded lizard, this is the same process. And then just pull tight. And there you have your first little leg for your cardinal. And now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Do the same process. Pull tight. And then there you have both of your legs. We'll obviously position them a little more later. And now we're going to do a row of 2 beads on our wire, and we're almost done. And we'll attach the wings, and then we'll be really done. So 2 red beads on your wire. Oh yeah, you should have used all your brown beads. Now just do the same process. We're not going to only string your wire through half of them or anything. We're going to string your wire through all of them and pull tight. And as you can see, the legs kind of come together a little bit. And now we're going to do that 3 more times. We're going to do 3 more rows of 2. So 1, 2, and there we go. First row of 2, we're going to do the same thing. Second row of 2. There we go. Third row of 2. There we go. And now we're going to do 2 rows of 3. So 3 red beads, put them on your wire. 1, 2, 3. And same process. And then do another row of 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then finally, we're going to do a row of 4. And that'll be your last row for your bird, which is super, super exciting. 3 and, oops, and 4. Pull tight, and there is the long tail of your cardinal. And now we're going to tie our bird off. So we're going to take one of our wires, loop it around and through all 4 of these beads. Just like that. Pull tight. Now we're going to do the same thing, but just the opposite way around. Just like that. Pull tight. And now we're going to take both wires and twist them together. Just like that. And then we're going to cut off our little bit of excess wire and fold down the little pointy bit here. And there is the body of your cardinal. We still have to add the wings, but you are so close to being done. Good job. But yeah, it looks very good so far. So now we're going to take our wings, which we've already made, and we are going to take one and we're going to use these wires to attach them on. So we're going to kind of position it, kind of see where what it looks like on our bird, and we're going to attach them on to like the 3rd row on the body. So if this is 1 right above my nail, 1, 2, 3, we're going to attach them onto this one right here, right above my nail. So we're going to take, if you have like a flatter side to your wing, have it align with the kind of facing the front of the bird. So take one of your wires and then loop it through, or string it through. I always say loop, it's really string your wire through those 3 beads, just that whole little row that I pointed to. There we go. Just like that. And then take the other wire, the other side of your wire, and do the opposite thing. So take it and loop it, string it through the other way of those same 3 beads. Sorry, I'm kind of blocking it. And just like that. And we're going to pull tight on both ends, and it'll just go up to the bird's body. Just like that. Looks really good. And now we're not going to trim the wires yet, but we're going to just bend them to the side to get them out of the way so we can do the same thing for this other wing. So I'm going to put it right here. I'll zoom out. So kind of position it where you want it. And we're going to string it through those 3 beads right above my nail. I don't know if you could see them, but right there. And it looks like they're a little bit crooked, so you might want to take something like your nail and just kind of align them a little bit better. So kind of hold the wing up to your bird, take one side and loop it through this half row right here. Hope I got it a little bit. Hopefully it's focused. Okay. There we go. String it through. just like that, and then string your other wire the opposite way through. Alright, I kind of went away from camera there because it took a little bit of kind of messing around with it to get it through, but I got it. So pull through and then pull both ends tight. One might need a little bit more tightening than the other, just like I did there. Alright, so now that we've done that, we're going to do kind of the same thing. This step is probably optional, but if you want, you can see that top row of the wing that we did. We can take our wire and just loop it back around through, just to make it a little bit more secure. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but hopefully you can. Just that first row on, oh yeah, there we go. The first row on the wing. Hold tight. Now let's do the other side. And hold tight. We gotta string it through. I can't find the wire. There we go. Pull tight. You do the same thing. And pull tight. And now the wings are just a little bit more secured. So now we are going to take one of our wings, meet the wires together, and just twist them tight. Just like that. And then we're going to trim off the excess. Just like that, and fold down a little pointy bit. Do the same thing for this wing. Twist them, trim off the excess, and fold down the pointy bit. And now you can make any adjustments to your bird that you want. Obviously your feet will be a little wonky, so you can give them a little fold. And then put your tail out, the wings, shape them however you want to. And after you made all the little necessary adjustments, or just make it to your liking, you are done with your little cardinal. And I really hope yours turned out really amazing, and I hope this tutorial was relatively easy to follow. And special thanks again to Corinne Hawkins for suggesting this. If any of you want me to make anything else specific or have any other suggestions, please leave them below in the comments. I think next month though, next time I post a video, I will do a little rose for Mother's Day. So yeah, that's super fun. But yeah, I hope you enjoy your little cardinal, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!